In the quiet countryside of Turkey, where the nights stretch long and the silence feels too heavy, lived a woman named Kübra. Her life was simple, no drama, no chaos, just faith, family, and routine. But in places like this, where ancient beliefs still breathe, peace never lasts forever. It started with a feeling, like someone was watching her. Not a person, not an animal, something unseen. At night, the air in her bedroom felt thicker, the darkness felt deeper, and the silence felt wrong. Then the whispers began. Kubra. She told herself it was nothing, just stress, just imagination, because obviously hearing your name in the dark is totally normal, right? But the voice came back, again and again, each night closer, clearer, until sleep became her enemy. In her dreams, a tall shadow stood beside her bed. It didn't move, it didn't blink, it just watched her breathe. Its eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Kubra would wake up screaming, her heart racing, her body drenched in sweat. Her husband Ahmet rushed to her side every night, trying to calm her down. "It's just a dream," he'd say, but even he could feel it. The house didn't feel the same anymore. The shadows felt heavier. The silence felt alive. Then something truly disturbing happened. Deep scratch marks appeared on the bedroom wall, long, violent lines carved into the surface, as if something invisible had clawed its way through reality. No one knew how they got there, and no one dared to touch them. Soon, Kubra began hearing the whispers even when she was awake. In the kitchen, in the hallway, even during prayer, the voice knew things. Her fears, her memories, her secrets. Slowly, she began to change. Her eyes lost their warmth. Her body grew weaker. She stopped sleeping properly. She stopped eating. And one night, without warning, she collapsed to the floor. Her body twisted unnaturally, her screams echoing through the house. But her voice wasn't hers anymore. It was deeper, colder, inhuman. Something else was speaking through her. Ahmed and the family froze in fear. In their world, faith is the first defense. They filled the house with Quranic verses, praying desperately for the darkness to leave. For a moment, it seemed to work. Kubra grew calmer. The strange events slowed down. But evil doesn't leave that easily. The whispers returned, louder, more aggressive. Kubra's body weakened as if something was draining her from the inside. Sometimes she spoke in a voice that didn't belong to her. Sometimes she laughed at nothing. Other times she stared into empty corners of the room, as if someone was standing there. That's when they called a spiritual healer. The moment he stepped inside the house, his face turned pale. The air felt heavy, unnatural. After observing Kubra, he gave his conclusion. This wasn't a ghost. This wasn't a demon. This was a Jinn. He explained that Jinn are ancient beings, created from smokeless fire, living unseen alongside humans. Some are harmless, others are dangerously evil. They can whisper into human minds, manipulate emotions, and even take control of the body. And this Jinn wasn't here by accident. It had a purpose, a connection. The truth came from Kubra's bloodline. Years ago, someone in her family had performed forbidden rituals, trying to control the unseen world for power, knowledge, or protection. But the unseen world doesn't like being controlled. The ritual opened a door that was never properly closed. Something crossed over, something that waited, and now it had returned to claim what it believed was its right. Kubra. The possession became violent. Objects moved on their own. Doors slammed shut. Lights flickered wildly. Sometimes the Jinn mocked their prayers. Sometimes it threatened them. It enjoyed the fear. Kubra's body became a battlefield. Her voice shifted between her own and the Jinn's. Her eyes turned empty. Her movements became unnatural. The healer warned the family, if they didn't act fast, Kubra could lose herself completely. He prepared for a full exorcism. Candles were lit. Sacred verses filled the air. Protective symbols surrounded Kübra. As the ritual began, the Jinn fought back. Kübra's body lifted off the ground. Her screams became unnatural. The room turned icy cold. Shadows stretched across the walls like living creatures. The Jinn laughed through her voice, challenging the healer's faith. The healer struggled, but he didn't stop. Verse after verse, he pushed forward. Slowly, the grip weakened. Kübra collapsed to the floor. Silence followed. No whispers, no movement, no signs of the Jinn. The family believed it was finally over. Kübra woke up later, weak but normal. Her voice was hers again. Her eyes looked human again. The house felt calm. Peace returned. Life slowly went back to normal. But something still felt off. Late one night, Kübra sat alone in her room, staring into the mirror. Her reflection felt wrong. Her eyes were cold, unblinking. A faint whisper filled the air. Not outside, but inside her mind. The Jinn was never gone. It was only waiting. Because once a Jinn chooses you, it never truly lets go.